Hello, this is Mr. Clark. So, hope you guys had a great break. Um, Today, we're going to go over the equation of circles. So, what you see here on the screen is a Khan Academy exercise for graphing a circle when given the equation. I'm going to show you this in a little bit, but before we do that, let me go over the notes. All right, so now I put these notes, I've downloaded them into Microsoft Word because it's kind of hard to do this on Google Classroom. If you can figure it out, that's great. I can do it on Microsoft Word, or you can print out the notes and graph these circles on paper, which is probably the easiest thing. So the first thing is a couple terms. Radius, that's from the center of the circle out to an edge anywhere on the edge. The diameter is all the way across the circle, straight line, a straight segment, and it goes through the center. There it is. So you're going to need to know radius to do this assignment. Alrighty. So let's see here. Here's the equation for circle. All right. So your equation is always going to have an x and a y there. And then there's going to be a number for h, a number for k, and a number for r. And that's how it's going to work. So the number h, whatever is there for h and there for k, is the center. Now notice there's a minus here, minus h, not plus h. So basically it's going to be the opposite. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this first one is x minus 4, right? Now your h is not going to be negative 4, it's going to be 4. That's a minus. You have positive 4, right? This is a minus 2. Minus 2. So the k is a 2. See, it's y minus 2. That's positive 2. All right, so that's 2 there. So again, these two numbers give you the center point. All right, now the radius at the end of this formula says r squared. 9 is not the radius because r squared is 9. 9 is r squared, right? So something squared is 9. So if you want to figure out what squared is 9, you take the square root of 9. So if you do the square root of 9, which you guys learned how to do, I'm sure you're doing it on a calculator or computer somewhere. Square root of 9 is 3, right? So if you look up the formula, r would be 3. So 3 squared is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So the radius is 3. This is the one. Now be careful with this because you're going to be going the next lesson. You're going to be looking at circles and then writing the equation. So make sure you know which way you're going with the radiuses. You'll see what I'm talking about later. That's the thing people get confused about. Somebody like those people say the radius is 81, 9 squared. And that's going to be kind of hard to graph. You'll know that you're wrong if it's going way off the graph. Anyway, so now we have the center point and the radius. Now I already drew a couple things here to help me out. I got this dot here. This is actually a circle that's small. So that's the best thing I could get for a point. And then I have a circle. All right, so center point is 4, 2. So x is 4. Go over 4 and go up 2. Let me see if I get that right on the center. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so that's the center point of the circle. Now, if you do it on paper, you can do this. If you have a compass, you can use a compass. But here I'm just copying and pasting some of these. You can put a point. The radius is 3, so it goes out 1, 2, 3 this way. This is how we were doing it in class. Put that point on your paper. Radius go 1, 2, 3. See, the radius goes 3 in any direction. And you can see, obviously, where they are if you go left or right or up and down. Up 3, 1, 2, 3. I want to make this as nice as possible. It's not so nice, but it's on there. Okay, and down 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so see, the circle's going to go through those points because the radius is 3. It's 3 this way, it's 3 that way. Diagonally, it's 3, but you can't find the exact point diagonally unless you want to do the Pythagorean theorem. So now I'm going to put the circle in here. All right, now this is a little tricky because I lock the aspect ratio in the circle in the settings. Oh boy, it's a little tricky. There we go. So there's the circle. All right, so that's pretty good. So you see it goes up 1, 2, 3. Any place you go in any direction from the center to the edge, it's 3. So there's the first circle. All right. It's a little tricky. I'm glad that worked out pretty good. I'm going to copy this circle and bring it down to the next problem because I'm going to need to use another circle. And I already messed with this one. I drew it and then I had to change the settings. So if you're good with stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't like stuff like that, just print it out because it's going to be a lot easier. Khan Academy is real easy to work with. You'll see that. I'll show you that after we get done these notes. All right, so here's another one. Now here we have x plus 2. Now, you know the formula says minus. And the only way that turns into a plus is if there's 2 minuses. So it'll be x minus negative 2. That'd be x plus 2. You don't need to know all that. If you know that, that's great. But all you need to know, this is a plus 2, so you're going to put negative 2. It's always the opposite. Plus 3, you get negative 3. All right, there's your center point. There's 9 again. So r squared is 9. So that means 3 squared is 9. So 3 is the radius. Oh, that's nice. I don't have to redraw my circle now. So we'll reshape it. It's the same size. Or resize it, whatever. So I'm going to move this point to negative 2, negative 3. Hopefully it's going to be somewhere around there. Good enough. All right, and the radius is 3, and that's one should already be set up because I just did it. So, there we go. So now it's off a little bit. It's a little tricky on. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So you can see it goes up, and you can make points here again. I'm not going to put all these points here, but you know, if you were doing on paper, you could put a point like up 3 from the center. 1, 2, 3 up to there, and then to the right and down and to the left, and you'd have some points. Then you could just draw it. If you don't have a compass, that's fine. If you have a compass, you can make it real nice. But when you draw your circle, make sure it's a circle because some people they do it on paper. They draw the 4 points and then they connect them like this, you know, and then they have a rhombus, which is a good way to make a rhombus, but not a good way to make a circle. Circles have curves. Okay, so there's that circle. I'm going to move along. I'm going to take my circle down again. This one could be a different size, so I have to change the shape. All right, so now this one has x minus 2. Okay, so minus 2, the opposite of minus, positive. Plus 5, the opposite of positive, minus 5. All right, and again, I'm getting these numbers from here. That's negative 2, you got positive 2. That's plus 5, and negative 5. That's the center. And this time the radius squared is 25. Remember the formula? It says radius squared. Something squared is 25. So what squared is 25? What times itself is 25? I think you might know 5 times 5 is 25. Sometimes you got to get decimals with these. So know how to do the square root. You do it, you know, you got a calculator. Let me know if you can't do a square root. All right, square root, and it's that check thing. Look, I better show you this. If I insert a equation, just to make sure you know what I'm talking about. People get squared and square roots mixed up. I don't seem to be seeing what I went to see. Oh, here we go. Here. Oh, this is very slow for some reason. Radical. Oh, it's right there. Okay, that's the square root right there. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we had to do the square root of 25. Square root of 25 equals 5. All right, there we go. I'll put that on the notes too. All right. So there we go. That's how you do it. Okay, so the center point, let me steal my center point here. Paste. Okay. Got 2, -5. So over 2, down 5. Okay. Right about in. Yeah, it's, oh, that's even worse. I got to get this at least somewhat close. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so the radius is 5, so I'm going to need 5. Oh, yeah, I got to just resize this first because I can't just move the sides out. It's because the aspect ratio is locked. I know this is going to be, well, here's a good one. What's 2 times 5? That's the diameter is 10. So I'm going to set up to 10, right? All the way across is 10. Since I know about the diameter, then I can fit it in here. Nice. Okay, so the radius is 5. So it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 5, left 5. There you go. There's your circle. Okay, so that's the nodes. So now I'm going to go to Khan Academy. Okay, so here's the Khan Academy activity. So you're supposed to graph this one. Now, the center point, this one, I'm glad it has this one that popped up because you have a -2, so you know it's +2. But then you don't have anything here by this y. There's nothing there. So that's a 0. If it doesn't say y plus something, y minus something, it's a 0. There's nothing there. So your point is +2, the opposite, 0. So you go over 2, and you don't go up or down because it's 0. All right, now, and this is really easy to manipulate on Khan Academy. I don't know if you got it, if you have tablet or phone, how easy it is, but I don't know. If you have a mouse, it's really easy. So the square root of 49. Remember, the radius is at the end, radius squared, right? So something squared is 49. And luckily, there's no decimal here. So because the square root of 49 is 7. So 7 times 7 is 49. So I'm going to move this circle. I'm going to move this, enlarge this so that it goes over 7. That goes over 6. That goes over 7. 2 plus 7 is 9, right? Up 7, there to 7. Yep, down. All right. Let's see how that worked. Hopefully I get this right. That's nice. All right, let's try another one. I'll show you one more. Okay, this one doesn't have zeros in there. So that's all right. So we got a +4. That's -4. X is -4. We got a -2. That's +2. It goes up 2. The radius squared is 36. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 squared is 36, right? Or the square root of 36 is 6. So your radius is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's hope I get that one right too. Okay, so there it is. All right, so now I know there's going to be some technical issues with Khan Academy. We'll work all that out. I'll probably, we'll give you a little extra time to get this one done if there's any technical issues. So let me know how it goes. And oh, by the way it worked last year is that it gives you like 4 questions and then it gives you a percentage. So you can just do it over and over, and I'll see whatever your highest score is. So don't be afraid you got 75. You do it again, then you have a 25. You can keep going for 100, and it should save your highest score. That's how it worked before, but Khan changes a lot, so we'll see how it goes. This is the first time we did it this year. So, all right. Good luck. Let me know how it goes.